fuck faces? Episode 109 of Never Trust a Fart. Chris is back. You're alive even.
Back from the dead, man.
Turns out that he never died. We were full of shit, but I think I told you that on the last podcast about halfway through.
See, you guys got it wrong.
Okay.
And I want to address that last podcast.
Addressed
too.
it.
But
Addressed
you
it.
got it wrong. I wasn't eaten by a puma. I ran into a really fairly attractive 80-year-old woman. I was eaten by a cougar.
Oh, a nice little cougar?
Yeah.
And
See, that's what it is. I was the cub.
And eaten, they were just talking about like your butthole?
She ate my dick and my butthole.
She ate your dick?
Well,
that sounds
gummed
awful.
it. I mean, she couldn't make any indents or anything.
I was going to go into this later in the show, but I'll just got it right off the bat. I just read about some kind of crazy shit that happened where some guy got someone on Grindr and ate their dick. Literally. Like, hung them upside down, cut off their dick, and ate it. And did a bunch of other shit, too, and killed them in the end. But
well, obviously.
Yeah, so be careful out there on Grindr, ladies and gentlemen.
Alex.
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Alex.
And Matt.
Matt, well, Hat Mutson is definitely going to have a Grindr. He's got to.
He's got to.
Can we change it to Hat Mutson? Maybe if I can superimpose, I can't fuck with his face though. Like
because he's dead sexy.
Yeah, because he's dead sexy,
yeah.
And that's like the whole point of it is we want to make him look dead sexy.
And how can you not make that look?
Yeah, because I was going to say,
can I look at the Mona Lisa? Can
I hide him a little bit? But if I hide him, it would ruin the whole point of it. Hat Mutson, you need to give it up. You need to let.
Ooh,
he don't listen to us during football season.
How about giving him one of those? I know he doesn't. How about giving him one of those '70s gay mustaches, the real thin, long ones. The '70s biker gay mustache, the Freddie Mercury's.
Oh, okay. I was thinking more of the Ricky Ricardos, but that's a little bit earlier.
Yeah, no, I'm one of the gay ones. When they went to these leather bars and it goes all the way down here, but it doesn't turn into a goatee.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Those look sweet. I mean, Hogan has that.
Yeah, but Hogan's is thick. The gay guys use little thin ones.
Plus, it doesn't matter because Hogan's such a stud. No one's going to say anything to him. He's fucking gigantic. 6'5".
I saw a video the other day with fucking Hogan, and he was hanging out with Mr. T Jr. Have you seen this fucking joke of a guy?
Is it actually Mr. T's son?
I don't know. But he was doing this fucking book signing thing, or this fucking signing thing, and Hogan walked in, hey, what's up, brother? And this 30-year-old guy that looks just like Mr. T goes, I pity the fool. And I was like, if this is his kid, and this is all you can do with your life is, emulate your dad, you got real fucking problems.
But do you? I mean, look at this two ways. If he's out there and he's not making any money and he's basically like a bum doing this shit, well then you got some fucking problems. But if for some reason you could go out and make $100K, $200K a year just acting like your dad, I'd fall right into that job. You're not only you're kind of giving him a shout out like you're the shit, as long as you kept it serious, but you're also making a living off of doing nothing basically.
Well, I mean, I would do that, but I don't.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
Think you could get. I don't think Mr. T makes $100K this year, these days.
No, and you're probably right.
He's very obsolete.
I don't know. I think you'd be surprised what some of those fucking people pay. I mean, what some of those guys can just make on a stupid platform like that,
He's on
like Cameo. No, but the amount of money they can make on that. Gilbert Gottfried talked about that. He's talking about how you can make like $10,000 in like 2 days, and just sitting in front of his computer, be acting like an asshole. If you could do that, that's a decent amount of money just to be a douche.
You think anyone? What if we went on Cameo? You think anybody would buy us?
Yeah, but no, if that makes any sense. We couldn't go on as Chris and Jason. But if we made up characters and shit like that and acted all goofy and recorded a couple funny ones, you might be able to get someone to do it. I mean, I've almost paid a couple people on there. I almost paid this fat chick on there that was a fat wrestler chick to come on and say she was going to sit on my face. But Cameo won't let the performer say sit on my face, so she wouldn't do it. Apparently she'd get kicked off Cameo.
Hey, here's a little funny little twist. The fart girl who sold farts in the jars.
Oh, I know about this. I was going to bring it up.
She has to retire.
Yeah.
She has to quit because she has gastrointestinal problems from the diet.
That's because all she eats is beans and eggs.
And broccoli.
She's like El Cordero Gordo, man.
Yeah, but she has to hang it up. No more farts in a bottle.
That poor lady. You know what I mean? She's had a good living for like 3 years just being awesome, farting in bottles, and you're just going to ruin it for her. Her body betrayed her.
And I did find out because I went to the fart in a bottle site.
Mm-hmm.
They're like little baby food jars is what she farts in. And she puts it all the way up to her sphincter. And these guys were writing in reviews, and they said if the seal is tight, when you open it, it's just like it came right out of her ass. The smell's all still in there.
I just couldn't imagine that being a thing I'd want to experience.
Me neither. These motherfucking sickos probably licked the rim knowing it was up in the crack.
I thought about you the other day in the shower.
Nice. Were you masturbating?
When the shower wasn't shower, I maybe post masturbation. I don't remember if I jerked off that particular session.
But you weren't jerking off about me.
No,
Okay,
that's
thank
weird.
you.
That's very weird. No, that would be the opposite of what would work. No, this is maybe post jerk. I don't remember. Either way, I was
jerk.
I was in the shower butt ass naked because that's how you take showers, and I farted. And that's how I knew that my COVID was officially gone, because I could smell my fart. I couldn't smell anything for like 5 days. And I thought about you because you always tell me farts smell worse in the shower. Whether there's any proof to that or not, I'm not sure. I imagine so, just because you're naked. But either way, that's what showed me that I was COVID free for the second time.
But you told me even before
champion.
COVID, you've lost your smell years ago.
I don't have good smell. You know what I mean? I can't smell compared to normal people, but I have breakthroughs. And one of those breakthroughs happen to be farts sometimes. Coffee's always a breakthrough. I can always smell coffee. There's certain things, but I don't have, like my wife, you smell that? No.
I mean, do you think do you come home, let's say you come home from a long day, and Carmen's in there whipping up a really good dinner.
Yeah.
Do you ever walk in and say, boy, I bet that smells good?
Boy, I bet that smells good.
Yeah.
Like if the normal people know.
You look at the turkey or whatever, the ham, whatever she's making. Boy, I bet that smells good.
No, I'd probably just die of shock that Carmen's making dinner. Especially at that time of night.
Carmen never cooks?
She does, but we live different lifestyles, different time zones, basically.
Yeah, I get it.
With my nighttime schedule, we eat dinner at different times, so.
All right,
she
well,
cooks for the kids.
Being back from the dead, I'm going to talk about this last podcast, and then we're going to go on to more important things. First of all, Matt Hudson, fantastic eulogy.
He delivers a great eulogy. Nathan said it's probably because his years as a youth minister.
I would think that would have something to do with it. Yeah. But I will argue with one point. You are fucking so wrong about one thing, and this really got me. First of all, everyone knows that thank God, that you made it very clear that I'm 100% straight man. I want nothing to do with the cock. I just appreciate
Thank God.
I just appreciate a good-looking dick. But I think, by far, he went over and over and over about how the most important thing to me was a good dick.
Well, it seems like it sometimes. I'm just saying, from an outside perspective.
I think I'm much
understand
more,
what you're saying.
Because I talk about this guy having a hammer.
A lot.
Well, yeah, but that's what I talk about. I talk about stuff like that.
Exactly.
I think I talk about buttholes a lot more than I talk about dicks.
Yeah,
and I talk about pussies all the time, too.
True. But no, you're more of a dick guy overall. Well, if you're going to put it all in a bucket, you're more likely to pull out a dick talk than you are anything else.
And here's the reason for that. Because dicks are all really different. Mm-hmm. Pussies are generally the same.
Yeah.
It's a line down the middle. Sometimes the lips are big, sometimes they're little. But a cock can go left, it can go right, it can go up, it could be fat, it could be skinny. And what I'm saying is, if I'm watching porn, or if I'm in the fucking, let's say, team shower, and I look over and I see a fucking hammer with a great set of veins, I'm going, I appreciate that. I don't like it. I don't want to touch it. I don't want it near me. But I can appreciate that.
And let me just clarify for the listeners and the viewers and all that this is Chris talking. And I feel like I get lumped in with this gay thing too often, where they think me and you are, gay together because we talk about dicks. And it's like, I don't really talk about dicks. I'm just here while you're talking about dicks.
Well, I don't talk about dicks until somebody says, ooh, dick. All I'm saying is,
that's always
I'm
going
not
on.
Homophobic enough to where I can't appreciate a good dick. I don't enjoy looking at him. I don't go, ooh, bring that closer. Let me poke it with my finger. I don't do any of that. Mm-hmm. But if you're standing there in the fucking shower and you got 9 inches hanging and it looks like a fucking pepperoni, I'm going to go, that's a good dick.
Nice dick there, sir.
That's the extent of my liking dick.
Now, do you say that to strangers? Like if you're at the...
Oh, no, very bad thing to say.
Yeah,
you never want to hear a nice dick.
How funny would that be, though? We're just sitting in the, the weird gyms that they got where the old guys still walk around with their butthole hanging out for some reason.
Me and my buddy Lance used to do that.
God, that drove me crazy.
Me and my buddy Lance used to do that at Reds games or Bengals games. Mm-hmm. We'd go in and act like we didn't know each other, and then one of us would look over and go, man, that's a nice dick. And just look at other people's reactions. And then we'd walk out separate and go our own separate ways. Yeah. People, the fucking look on people's face was priceless.
That is funny.
It's great.
Yeah, that is funny.
Man, nice cock. Thanks.
Nice cock you got there, buddy.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I talk about buttholes more. 110% heterosexual. Just have the appreciation for a good dick. I don't like a lot of things, but I can appreciate a good one. I'm not an art guy.
Mm-hmm.
But if I go to a museum and say, fuck, look how cool that picture is, I can do that. Same thing.
Alex was crying last week when you were...
And I appreciate that. Yeah. Alex is, I would...
Elijah thought it was funny.
I would kind of hope that, most of my friends would be a little bummed, but,
Now, Nathan said it was like losing a third grandpa.
I know he did. And, but yeah, just to set the record straight, I'm here. I'm alive. Alive and kicking.
Now, Matt wanted to change the thing, and I thought this was funny, but he thought it was going on too long, where he was going to say that you died because you were trying to take a selfie with the cougar, but you couldn't figure out how to work your phone, your two-way camera. You couldn't change it. And so
he does that all the time. He thinks I'm so old I don't know technology.
And so, in fact, yes. And so, in reality, you died by old age, which I thought was a hilarious connection. And he didn't do that because he said it was too long. But yeah, he does give you shit for, and you are pretty bad with it. I mean, you're not the worst, but...
Well, I just don't live on my phone.
Well, it's not just that, but you probably can't see your phone because you're old.
I can see my phone.
So you have to do this shit. Now, when you do this
I do that.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I mean, you're wearing glasses.
Yeah,
if I wore glasses, I wouldn't have to do that.
Well, but I wouldn't have to do that to look at my phone. I can take my glasses off and look at my phone right here. I can't see you.
Yeah, but you can't see me.
I'd see you, but you'd just be funny looking.
A little fuzzy.
Which is fine. Most of the time, that's an upgrade.
I need reading glasses. I'll be the first to admit. To read up close, I can. But
you have them.
I do.
You have some sweet glasses.
Clip-on ones.
Some clip-ons, man. You don't wear those?
I wear them at home all the time when I'm reading. Fuck yeah, I did. The other day, I was on the phone with the insurance company. They need my group number. Those glasses came in nice and handy.
Let me get my spectacles. Hey, you know what we got this week?
What?
Email. Hey, indeed. We got an email. Old Vern got back to us again. Now, this is actually a couple weeks old at this point because he doesn't know our schedule, obviously, because he's a dumb fuck. And he sent it to us on the day that we usually release them, I think, or like a Sunday. So we missed it that week, and then you weren't gone. I wasn't going to address it by myself because, you get some shit too. So I don't want to speak for you when we talk shit back to old Vern.
But anyways, we don't know who Vern is.
No fucking clue. Vernon Schillinger. Another hour and change of my life wasted. What else am I going to do in the pen? You think I'm a Trumper? Convicted felons can't vote, dipshits. I have no political affiliation. Storming the Capitol is for losers. I hope they get locked up so we can teach them a lesson. You two may say you aren't gay consciously, but subconsciously, you're flaming. You claim your next eating challenge was going to be Twinkies? Of course it would be. Anything with the word twink in it. Then you have a dream about a vampire? What do? Suck things. I guarantee Chris has had at least one dream about fucking a dude. Who was the top in your relationship? Chris likes things in his ass, so I'm guessing it's Jason. The only role in a band you two ass clowns could have would be the groupies. Speaking of band camp, I bet my life Whoopi has shoved an instrument in her pussy. Lauryn Hill is a fucking racist cunt. Of course you race traitors would defend her. I don't want your fucking forgiveness, Chris. Instead, just admit that you want Jason's cock. You ain't shoplifting shit from any store. You don't have the balls. I hope you do, though. I hope you get sent here so we can dress you up like a woman and pimp your bitch ass out. See you soon, Vern. Jesus Christ, man.
So he's basically saying he's writing these letters from prison?
Well, he's Vernon Schillinger. He's in prison for whatever Vern was in. He's a Nazi. He does whatever he does. I think he lived. I think Ozzy lived. I think he was one of the few survivors.
He was.
There's not many survivors in that show. But that's Vern.
Let's address it. No.
Jesus
Don't
Christ.
want Jason's cock. Don't want it.
No.
Have never had a dream about fucking a dude. I know of.
I haven't, no.
I don't know what the shoplifting thing was. Did we say we were going to shoplift something?
Maybe. I don't remember. It was a long time ago at this point.
Yeah, I don't remember saying anything about shoplifting. Race traders. That's a good one. That
I am indeed a race trader.
You're not a race trader if you marry a black woman. Yeah, that doesn't make you a race trader.
To him, it does. I'm saying by their definition, by Nazi definition, I'm a race trader.
Oh, you are.
And I'm perfectly fine with that.
But by anybody else who's
No, like
remotely intelligent,
normal
you're
people,
not a
I'm
race
just a
traitor.
normal person.
Just a normal person.
I find women attractive. It don't matter of race.
Yeah.
You know?
So race traders, because we never defended Lauryn Hill either.
I don't remember defending her. I love her. I think she's
I don't
awesome.
love her.
Well, I put past.
I like her music.
Well, that's why I love her. I put past that stuff. You know, I'm the same.
Well,
guy.
let me correct
Hey,
that.
I still like R. Kelly. I still like Michael Jackson. I still could jam to some
I
Jerry
like
Lee
the
Lewis.
Fugees.
You know what I mean? I still like the Who. They're all right. Pete Townsend fucks kids, or at least likes pictures of them. He got caught. I don't care what he
He
says.
said that was research.
For a book that never came out, by
Yeah.
the way. Where's his book?
It's not
He was
out.
doing all that research.
He
looking
got
at child
busted. He
porn.
got busted midway through the fucking
I
investigation.
can't
He never got to
believe
finish.
that's not a thing. Like, why does Pete Townsend get a pass? He really seems to, though, doesn't he?
Well, I mean, the Who is probably like fucking knighted by the Queen and all that.
That's
bullshit.
what I mean. It seems like he gets a full fucking pass for being. There's no other way to look at it. You're a pedophile.
Yeah.
You got that much child porn. You can't tell me it's for
He had
research.
a lot of it too,
Yeah, ridiculous amount.
almost as much as Gary Glitter.
Yeah.
the
Why did
Deadpool
they
guys.
believe that he was doing research for a book? He's not an author.
No, well, a lot of people aren't authors that have written
Research.
books.
I was writing. I was trying to write a riffs. Got to look at a kid taking some dick.
And this was a children's book. I'm writing a book to tell children to stay away from people like me or like them.
Yeah. So to do that, I'm going to look at some kid getting plowed. Like,
Dude.
what the fuck, Pete Townsend? But anyways, what were we talking about?
Vern Schillinger.
Oh, fuck Vern Schillinger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Lauryn Hill. Yeah, I like Lauryn Hill.
I liked the Fugees a lot more than I like Lauryn Hill.
Oh, you know what we were doing?
wasn't crazy
I
about
kind of
her
defended
later
the
stuff.
fact, with the black production that I don't really
Oh,
think.
yeah. I didn't defend that. I called her a fucking bitch for that.
See, I don't. I don't think that's racist to want only black people to work on your album.
It's not work on the album. It's like, from what she said, when we're recording, you guys get out, and then, hey, you white people come in and fix it.
She didn't say that.
That's what you said. They're allowed to come in post-recording and do the editing.
I don't think they knew that. The management knew that. The people that are actually in charge.
I think that's racist.
Yeah, whatever. I don't. The one on all black album doesn't make racist to me.
If I was a performer and I was in there and I said, "Hey, no black people in here during the recording,"
It'd
would
be
I
weird.
be labeled racist?
Oh yeah, for sure.
In a second, I'd be fucking David Duke.
Yeah.
Why does it not go that way?
I don't know. I can't explain to you that. I don't know.
You know what? You want an all-black album? You hire black musicians. You hire black backup singers. Everybody who performs on that album is black. But for you to say no white people of any kind allowed in here, that's racist. I'm sorry, that's fucking racist.
I don't know, man. I just don't see that as a racist thing.
I do.
I think that's just one to keep it. But I understand what you're saying on the other side. If that was to happen, you would definitely be labeled a racist.
The biggest
I don't know
racist
if
in the
I
world.
would call you a racist, but I don't.
Everybody else would. Every
don't
Democrat
know.
in the fucking country would. Oh my God, this guy said no black people during the
think
recording.
I don't even think political affiliation would matter on that one. I think
Well,
if
I'm
anyone would
saying
think you're a racist.
Someone would get their hands on it.
There'd be like
40%.
40% of people that didn't think you're a racist, but the chances are those people are probably racist, and that's
Yeah.
the reason.
But I personally think that's racist. I don't think that.
You're allowed to think that, and you know what?
The whole point
you might
is,
not be wrong.
If
but
you want an all-black album, you're hiring the people that are producing this album. Hire all black people. I have no problem with that.
I think black
you hire who you want to hire, but don't say, "Hey, during the recording, only black people." White people can come in afterwards and tweak some stuff.
that's like a normal thing, though, for black people. I mean, you see it all the time on Facebook. Does anybody know any black-owned banks around here? Anybody know any black-owned whatever black-owned?
That's fine. You
They
want
even
to
got a company.
patronize whoever you want to patronize. That's fine.
Well, it's kind of the same thing, though. If you're black-owned, you're black-owned. And they want a black-owned album, basically, where only black people make it. So, I mean, it's a thing that I can't relate to because I'll never take pride in being a white person. I don't understand that shit. But then again, since I was never the oppressed, I never had a point to take pride, I guess. And I never had to make it out of the shambles to come up and actually have a culture that exists.
Yeah, but
So I just don't understand it.
At the risk of everybody automatically throwing judgment at me, neither did Lauryn Hill.
What do you mean? Her culture did, though. So she's raised a certain way because of the
But, I
culture.
mean,
I'm not raised that way because my culture was never that way. My culture was always pretty much on top. I guess if you go back to the Irish and go back far enough, it wasn't. But you don't have to go back to the 1400s for them to be oppressed. We're talking about fucking 100 years ago. It sucked to be black here.
150, but yeah.
No, 100 too.
Well, but 150.
Well, it was slavery then,
times,
but I mean,
obviously.
even after slavery, shit didn't get that much better for a lot of them.
No, it didn't.
So they
And
really, in America especially, they had to really come together to be where they're at today. So they just look at things different. I can't relate, But I get what you're saying. I mean, I understand if you did an all-white album, people would be like, hey, you fucking racist.
Yeah,
and I might be one of those, but I'd have to think about it. You really have to put it in perspective. Maybe if you did like an all Appalachian album, like where you're from, or something like that, like everybody's got to be from West Virginia.
And
like
I
that.
disagree with the other part where they all came together. They didn't.
What do you mean? I never said anybody came together, did I?
You said where they all had to come together to
no, I mean as a whole, the culture had to grow. The culture had to go from absolutely nothing.
R&B artists slash each other more than anybody.
What are you talking about?
I mean, as far as like, believe me, they want the album sales over this guy. This guy has a fucking beef with this guy.
No, I get that. I'm not talking about Joe and Tom, though. I'm talking about a culture as a whole.
And I get that.
It grew and advanced to a point in a short amount of time that, you can be proud of that. And they're still making leaps and bounds in America. White people we're good. You know what I mean? The bounds and leaps are done. They were done a long time ago where they're still working at it. And just now you're getting more black-owned businesses where they didn't exist before and shit like that.
No, you're right. A lot of them didn't exist
it's a
before.
Different struggle that I can't relate to, so it's hard for me to judge one way or the other.
I find that very thing racist. No white people allowed in the building. White people, let's say they're not performing on the album.
They were allowed in the building. They just weren't allowed in the studio. Because why would you be in the studio unless you're doing that? Their job was to fix the knobs and such.
Right.
At least those particular guys.
No,
that I
just think that basic concept is racist. Because if racism is going to disappear in the country, it's got to disappear from all races, I believe.
Yeah, it does. But one's going to be a little bit harder to. They get black people to like white people. That's a lot more of a struggle at this point because there's a lot. It's a lot more recent. And even if, like you said, it's not.
Well, it is, and it is.
It's not Lauryn Hill herself. It's still it's bred into you at that point. It's years and years and years of struggle and the way you're raised and all the people you looked up to growing up.
But here's the question:
they might have faced it, and it's just.
Do you think if I posed it to Lauryn Hill, so do you want only black people to purchase this album? She'd say, "Oh no, anybody can purchase it."
Well, right now she'd probably say yes.
Yeah, of course she would say.
Lauryn Hill might have always said yes. You know what I mean? I don't know. She's not really. Look, she turned away from a career. She had the biggest fucking album ever. Huge at that time, especially for an R&B artist, a rap artist.
The education of Lauryn
Hill. Yeah, her only fucking album.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. She put that album. She could have, if she was only cared about money, she could have had another 2, 3, 4 albums after that were, but she didn't. She turned it away. She didn't like the fame. She wanted to be a mother, everything else. So I don't think money was ever a motivating factor for her. So she may have always answered that, yes, I'd rather have all black people. I don't know. I mean, obviously it's never been asked, but if anyone would do it, I think it might be her. She never saw. She's not like fucking Wyclef on their side. He'd sell out to anything he could. He's out there trying to make money. He'll put out 3 albums a year if he has
to. My whole point is, I just think that statement, "No white people allowed," is racist, and I'm sorry that the bleeding hearts out there don't think that black people or Hispanic people or Asian people have the capability to be racist. I'm sorry, but yes, they do.
I just think it's a different thing.
But they still have ability to be racist.
I guess by definition, I don't disagree with you.
If you met an Asian person and said, "I fucking hate white people," that's racist. No matter how you look at it.
Asians are usually racist.
Yeah.
I mean, against like everything that's not them.
Yeah.
They're racist among themselves.
Oh, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Huge thing.
Oh, yeah.
Vietnamese guys hate the fucking Japanese.
Well, not the Japanese. Well, I don't know because Japanese are never around us. In the gambling world, Japanese just don't exist for whatever reason. There's like 3 maybe. But the Chinese and the Vietnamese, those are big groups. And they don't like each other for the most part.
Right.
And it's kind of funny how that works.
It is, isn't it?
I get a kick out. Well, I mean, it's kind of probably racist on our part for thinking that's funny because we think, oh, they both look the same, so they should get along. When in reality, they're kind of different. If you look back far enough, there's like different tribes that were probably at war at one point. You know what I mean? And all broke off into different directions.
I guess my whole point is, if you're Lauryn Hill and you're making an album and you want it to be an all-black album, great. You're hiring the people. You're paying the people. Just hire all black ones. You don't have to make it public. We don't want any white people.
I don't know if they made that public.
You knew about it. Everybody in the world knows about it.
I knew about it because my friend directly worked on the album.
You can Google it, and it'll say...
It might, but I mean, that's the reason I knew about it. I mean, I literally had someone that was in that studio.
But the whole point is, if you're in that studio and you're making the album, you're hiring whoever works on it.
And
so just hire him.
I don't think he had an official credit on that album, and I don't think he did a lot. You know what I mean?
Guy?
I think he just... I think he just worked for the studio. He was the studio's engineer, so he worked on a lot of other shit. But
right.
Either way, he just told me the story. That's the only reason I even knew about it.
That was the guy who He's from the East Side, right? He worked on all kinds of albums.
I don't know if he was originally from the East Side, but he lived in the East Side the last 30, 40 years or whatever. Or not 30, 40 years, 20 years.
Well, let's get off this racism thing before people label me again.
You should be used to it by now.
I am used to it. And you know what? I laugh about it. Fuck you. I'm not racist. I'm allowed to have an opinion that contrasts yours without being a racist. And if I'm a racist in people's opinions that I really don't give a fuck, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. If somebody I don't fucking have any respect for at all.
Hey, you know who I don't have any respect for?
Who?
Vern. Fuck you, Vern. That's what we were originally talking about.
Yeah.
Vern got us in the race because he's a racist. That's their dirty tricks, all right? He's like a Russian troll. He's going to pop on there and make everybody argue with each other.
You ain't shoplifting shit from any store. You don't have the balls.
Speaking of Bandcamp, I guess we did talk about it. He's probably white. Whoopi was supposed to be here, but her bitch ass didn't come. I bet she might have put a fucking instrument in her pussy.
Oh, I think Whoopi's put lots of things in her pussy.
Hey, have you ever seen the cock cams?
No.
There's actually a new cock cam, or new to me. I don't fucking know. It's a cock ring with a camera attached to it.
And it goes in with you? No,
I don't think it goes in.
in.
Yeah, it goes. See, there it is, right there. You got it at the top, so I guess you could turn it which way you want. Do you want it to go up, hit the butthole over and over again? Do you want to turn it upside down and hit the other side? But that's an interesting thing there.
How much would something like that be?
I think it was like $70, something like that. Sold out. First off, it's sold out. Too bad.
I want one.
Would you wear one?
Fuck yes, I would.
I thought I seen.
I want to see that right there.
Yeah, there we go. There's only $69.99 on Valentine's Day last year.
I would definitely wear one of those. I mean, you wouldn't see much, though.
I don't know. It depends on...
You're either going to see the whole top of your shaft going down, you're going to see like a bean and maybe a little tuft of hair if they're so inclined, or you're going to see a butthole.
Is it tuft or tuft?
I call it tuft.
I go tuft.
It is tough, but I say tuft.
Tuft. Okay.
Yeah. It just sounds sexier.
That sounds the opposite.
Ooh, let me see that tuft.
See, I think tuft sounds too much like a poop.
Oh, no. Tuft.
Yeah, and it depends on the camera, by the way. Like, we have some cameras in the studio that look like, that would just, like, take you, but it takes everything. So the camera could have a big scope. So you could probably see maybe it depends on her belly, too. If she has a little belly, and you can look over that. But otherwise, she has a flat belly. You can look over at the titties and shit.
I'm sure somewhere on the internet there's a condom with a camera in the tip where you get to watch it go all the way in. Because, they have, like, those...
Yeah, I mean,
medical instruments. You go in, and there's really not a whole lot to see in the vag. Hey, you get.
I don't know about a condom per se, but maybe some kind of silicone slip-on, some kind of like.
You just shove up there like camera, dildo with a camera.
Well, they got dicks that you put your dick in. Like if you want a bigger dick,
they have rubbers like that too.
Oh, rubbers?
It's a rubber, but the end of it is like filled with like a styrofoam, with like a foam rubber.
Yeah.
So you slide it over, and it adds an inch or two a dick.
Really?
However much you want. Yeah, the strippers. When we used to have strippers at the fucking...
Styrofoam just seems so...
It's not styrofoam. It's foam rubber.
Okay.
So it's like, it's got like 2 inches of dick-shaped foam rubber in the end. And then it's got a hole, a dent in it where your pecker goes in. Which kind of would kill it for me because the head of my pecker is pretty much one of the sensitive parts. So you're covering it up with the foam rubber.
Maybe it'll make it last longer.
It might.
Something like that. I don't know.
But
it seems weird.
You're supposed to be able to slide it on because it's a dark-colored condom. And the woman's supposedly not going to know.
Oh, okay. So you're tricking her.
You're tricking her into thinking you've got 2 or 3 more inches of dick
unless she
there.
blew you first.
Well, yeah, that's true. But
either way, yeah, I get what you're saying. That seems...
It's called a cock extending
Either way, I'm
condom.
sure something like that, you might be able to put a camera at the very end. But what could you see?
Nothing. A bunch of pink stuff. And,
now that thing did say, I think that it had infrared, which is kind of cool. Yeah, there's infrared night vision. So if you had infrared night vision inside the pussy, maybe you can see a little bit more. But I don't know. That's fucking weird.
I would wear one just to see.
Just to see what's going on?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a butthole over and over and over.
Hey, my kid this week cracked me the fuck up. He's living in a tent for whatever reason in the living room. But he comes out of his tent and he did a would you rather to me.
Was it a good one?
No, not at all, because he's 6. But it was funny because it was him, and he did try to make it nasty. And he did like 6 of them, and they all had pee and poop in them, all of them, every single one of them.
That makes for a good.
But it just cracks me up because he doesn't know the would you rathers in our show. Apparently, there's some YouTube show that does would you rathers, and I was like, yeah, but are they nasty like that? And he's like, no, I made them nasty. So he's indirectly trying to be just like the show without even knowing. that he is, because he's doing Would You Rather's pee and poop.
He's popped his head in here enough
and
times.
it was, dumb shit like, would you rather pee on yourself or pee on the dog? Shit like that.
I'll pee on the dog.
Yeah, I went with I answered every single time, and he was.
And then he'd go, ooh.
And that's exactly what would happen every single time. He'd tell me I was gross. Or the one that really cracked me up is, would you rather drink pee or drink poop? And he thought I was gross for wanting to drink pee.
Oh, I drank the pee in a second.
In a second, right? In fact, I don't know if you heard, there was some anti-vaxxer that just came out and said drinking your own pee cures COVID.
Of course he did.
So there's a bunch of them out there drinking their own pee now.
Of course he did. Fucking people, man. Everybody is a fucking expert. And the funniest part is, nobody's a fucking expert.
No one knows shit.
But I'm going to go with the guy who did 14 years in college to learn more than me.
And the other ones that are funny are the people that, like, when they talk about, like, Fauci or something like that, they'll, like, point out his opinion in 2020. And I'm like, see, he said that. Now he's saying this. It's like, that's kind of the way this shit's supposed to work.
He's learning as we go. Yeah, dumb fuck.
Like, it's not just a static line. You figure it out as you go. You do tests, you learn, you do this.
You learn more.
You come back on your words sometimes, say, oh, we were wrong
exactly
here,
the
we did this
that
here.
People have heart attacks that are living these days. There are people with cancer are living when 25 years ago they were just fucking dying. You're dying.
But people were so fucking funny about that shit. And not even people, like, people in power. You got, like, the dipshit down there in Kentucky that's constantly going against Fauci, Ron Paul.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And he does that same shit. He'll point out shit that the guy said 2 years ago. And it's just like, not only that, but Rand Paul, I think, is actually a doctor. I think he's actually a medical doctor.
Rand or Ron?
Who gives a shit? He doesn't deserve me to know his real name.
Well, no, there's two. One's a son, one's a dad.
Yeah, but that one of them's Ron, right?
One's Ron, one's Rand.
Yeah, but Rand, whatever. The one in Kentucky.
Rand is the old man.
I think Ron Paul's done, isn't he? He was in Texas. I think he's done.
Yeah, he might be.
I haven't heard his name in a long fucking time.
Yeah.
He kind of had some presidential buzz, maybe like...
He did actually run once, put his name on the ticket at least.
Yeah. I think I voted for him. I kind of like Ron Paul, even though he was a libertarian. I'm not really a libertarian, but
one of them was normal, and the
times.
other one's a crazy man.
Yeah, the youngest one's a crazy one. He became like some kind of weird mixture of the stupid nowadays Republicans and his dad.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you'll be like, all right, he makes some sense. Like when he fought against the Patriot Act and shit, you're like, okay, that guy's cool. I don't mind him. And then all of a sudden, next thing, he's fucking crazy. So who gives a fuck? Fuck Ron Paul.
Hey, elephant
Rand
in
Paul,
the room
all
here.
the Pauls. We got an elephant. All the Bengals are playing today. See, the problem with talking about the Bengals is by the time that you guys hear this podcast, we're going to be a couple days
and we could be geniuses because we predict everything exactly the way it went.
Or idiots.
Well,
because we were completely wrong.
Yeah, but see, we don't mind being idiots.
I'm used to that.
We've never minded that.
No, you got to go with that. I'm excited.
I'm fucking beyond excited.
The only thing I'm not excited about is I have to work.
I might jack a guy off. I would jack a guy off with a glove.
See, this is why Vern says things like this.
With a glove to have the day off.
Well, I would just call off before I jerk off. I got the points.
Yeah, but if you didn't have the points, if you had 11.5, just wanted to see this game and have a couple of beers, I think I
wouldn't. Next week I would. If they win this week and they're playing next week on Saturday, I might have to jerk a guy off. But otherwise, I'm fine missing this game.
God, how you talk about his dicks, man? Fuck you. You fucking closeted breeder.
You know he is.
You know he is.
You know he is.
See you on Grindr.
Yeah, I think they're going to win.
I think they're going to win big.
And it's hard as a Bengals fan to be confident in our first round playoffs because we've been beaten down. I mean, I've been in this shit from the beginning. I'm literally been a Bengals fan my whole life. I lived through the Dave Shulas, the David Klinglers, the Achilles Smiths. You go through the fucking list. You used to listen on the fucking radio because they weren't on TV because they didn't sell enough tickets in Cincinnati. They go 2-14, 3-13. They were just fucking awful for so long. Then Carson Palmer came, and he kind of changed Marvin Lewis, and they made the team not shitty. Just made him mediocre for a long time. You know what I mean? We had a chance in 2005. Carson Palmer blew out his knee. He was never really the same quarterback after that. Still
and
good.
Who did that? Oh, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh did that.
Still good, but never the same. Andy Dalton came. Andy Dalton was always a decent quarterback. He's never going to win you a Super Bowl, and he couldn't win a fucking first-round playoff game either. Now it's different, though, man. Burrow is a maniac in games that matter so far. I think he has something like... I forget the exact numbers, but if you combined his 3 playoff games in college with his 2, not playoff games, but the games that really mattered this year, the Ravens and the Chiefs there at the end, where he went off for 8 touchdowns and like 1,000 yards in 2 games. Yeah. The numbers are insane. It's something like 28 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in these games that fucking matter. And I think Burrow's going to tear him the fuck up.
I think Burrow's going to throw for at least like 350, 400 yards, couple of touchdowns.
Where they already beat the Raiders earlier in the year by just running the shit out of the ball against them. They couldn't stop Mixon.
Right, they couldn't stop Mixon, and that's the thing about him is their run defense has always been suspect.
Well, so they might just do that again.
But they held Jonathan Taylor a couple weeks ago. And if you can hold Jonathan Taylor, you've done something.
True.
Maybe they tweaked a few things because Jonathan Taylor got shut down in that game.
But it's easier to hold Jonathan Taylor because. Not that Jonathan Taylor is not
leading
a better
rusher in the league.
No, not that he's not a better rusher than Mixon, but they have nothing to fall back on. The Bengals, you can't stack the box because now you're leaving Chase and Higgins on the side with Boyd in the center, and good fucking luck. They'll tear you up all day in audibles. If you stack the box, and they'll audible out of that all day and tear you up, so you can't do that. You have to stop them with less. Against the Colts, you can stack the box. Or are you going to get beat by Carson Wentz?
Right.
He can't fucking do shit. He sucks.
My prediction for this game, Bengals 31, Raiders 21.
Ooh, I like that. I like that prediction. I did say 10 points. That's my thing all week.
I think 31-21 is the final, and I think one of those Raiders touchdown comes late in the fourth. I think the Bengals start the fucking game kind of
Bengalish?
Yeah, no. They start the game fucking owning it, and they don't look back.
See, I think it's going to be a slow start, but I think they turn it on like the Bengals do. They're not good in the first quarter. They haven't been all fucking year. So
no, they haven't been. But they didn't play bad against Baltimore a couple weeks ago in the first quarter. They started off pretty hot. They went down in their first possession and scored.
Yeah, but Baltimore, I mean, let's be honest. That defense was maybe like 2 starters.
Yeah, I know.
And Baltimore was completely. It was much more impressive what they did against Kansas City because Kansas City was actually holding. I don't think any team had more than 10 points for like 6 games in a row against
Kansas
them.
City was up 14-0.
Yeah, they went on a hot start. You're right. So it's the same thing. I don't think the Bengals start off well.
Bengals did not start off
well. No, I don't know what they're thinking. You know what I really think it is I think that first series, I think Taylor makes pretty much all the calls, and he does that beforehand. They pre-plan all these. The first series is usually always pre-planned in NFL games by the coaches. And I think after that, then Burrow kind of takes over.
Well, do you think Burrow's calling his own plays yet?
I think he has the option to go with like 2-3 plays each time. I think that's what they've said is that they go with the option of a couple plays and Burrow kind of picks from there. But yeah, I think I think that's what really opened the offense up towards the end of the year is they finally started letting Burrow make a little bit more of the calls, or at least
and they might have
more freedom.
And you know what? He's like Peyton Manning football smart. You know what I mean? Already.
That's the hope.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not Peyton Manning smart yet.
Yes, I mean,
but he's got that same ability to be able to read everything on the defense and know who's coming. He knows where everybody's going to be, and a lot of quarterbacks don't have that. David Carr doesn't have that.
Not at all.
Derek Carr doesn't have that.
Derek Carr's a mediocre. He's good. I mean, he's not a bad quarterback. The guy can win you games, but he's not Joe Burrow either.
Well,
there's a different. I really think Burrow is venturing into the top 5 in the league, maybe even the top 3 at this point. And I know it's hard to look at, but I really think when you open them up, especially next year, because next year is always the year. Usually year 3 is the year, when it's all clicking for him. It's kind of the way it worked with Josh Allen, some others. But I think he's in that tier. He's up there. He's like Manning, like you said. That's what I consider him. He's kind of a young Manning.
He's smart, right?
He can make all the throws, but he's not. He don't have an exceptional arm. He's not Aaron Rodgers' arm. Well,
no, but that's what I'm saying. Aaron Rodgers, thinker with a great arm. But you take someone like Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's not one of those Peyton Manning type football thinkers, but he's a fucking ridiculous athlete with a cannon for an arm.
No, Justin Herbert's more of a Brett Favre.
Right.
He's going to make some mistakes. He's going to play wild sometimes, but he is also going to just go out there and sling it and win you some games.
A lot of fucking games.
Yeah. I don't think Herbert's as good as Burrow, and I've argued that from the beginning. It was hard to really stake my claim last year because the injuries and everything else. Burrow only playing 11 games, Herbert playing all games. He also went into a much better situation in San Diego. They had a better offensive line. They had a better
San
defense.
Diego's got a fucking crazy coach who makes weird fucking calls on the fucking.
This year, yeah. But either way, I'm just saying the people around him are a lot better than what Burrow had coming in. So Herbert looked better his first year.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. I'm a fucking giant Burrow guy.
I think when you look at the career, when it's all said and done, Burrow's gonna have a much better career than Herbert.
I want Burrow to fucking retire a fucking Bengal.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean? That's what you want. And it doesn't happen these days. That's what I fucking hate about sports these days.
Hey, you know who I also want to retire a Bengal?
Who?
Andy Dalton. I would love to see them grab him for a backup for next year because he's better than Josh Allen, or whoever they got right now, not Josh Allen. What's his fucking name? Something Allen. Their backup sucked last week against Cleveland, and we need a backup. I like having a veteran there. Why not grant Andy Dalton, let him play out the last 2 years of his career as a backup in Cincinnati and retire a Bengal? He deserves it.
I think he does. The question is, does he want that?
You don't have a choice at this point. He's a backup in Chicago. Wouldn't you rather be a backup in a city and people like you?
Yeah, but at the end,
I think he knows that
wanted him gone.
I think he knows he's about done. Well, they wanted him gone as a starter.
That's like saying, hey, bring Marvin Lewis back, who's the offensive coordinator for the last year.
A defensive coordinator?
Whatever. Bring him back. So you're not going to take the head coaching job away. But what I'm saying is Marvin Lewis was here how many years? 15?
He's getting interviews.
I know.
For these coaching rounds. I don't think he's going to win. Unfortunately, Marvin Lewis might fall into that thing where they have the Rooney rule where they have to interview a black person.
Oh, he might.
And there's been a couple of those guys over the years where you just feel sorry for him because it's like, you're only getting interviewed because they have to interview you.
Yeah, but I don't think Marvin Lewis falls into that.
Let's hope not.
Marvin Lewis, fucking incredible defensive football mind. It just, as a head coach, they say that his weaknesses were
game management.
He didn't control the team.
Yeah, it was game management. He was too much of a player's coach and shit like that. But you can still be that also. I don't know. Marvin Lewis wasn't bad. He just, for one thing, he really pulled a miracle. He made a team mediocre in Cincinnati. And Cincinnati was so bad, and Paul Brown sucks so bad. Mike Brown sucks so bad.
I didn't hate him.
I don't hate him at all. In fact, when they got rid of him, I was saying, why don't we promote him to GM? I always thought he was great at finding talent.
Oh, yeah. And he's great at the defensive X's and O's.
Yeah.
He could have done.
He
a
was
lot
great.
For the team.
I don't know if that may have passed him up. And that's the thing is some coaches. And I was trying to explain this to someone where people were saying, why is Cincinnati so hopeful this year? And as much as Zach Taylor gets shit on, I like Zach Taylor as a coach because Zach Taylor is willing to change. That was the thing with Marvin Lewis is he was like a run first guy and he was old school football, which is fine, but he was never willing to really adapt to the new football style. Zach Taylor, he came out this year wanting an established run. We lost those games to like Detroit and a couple teams we shouldn't have fucking lost to because he never really let the reins go, never let Burrow go. Chase came out one week and saying, why isn't the offense letting me move around? In LSU, he didn't just play the one spot. He played the 1, the 2, the 3. He was all over the field. Why aren't we let me loose? Well, they let Chase loose, and look, he opened back up. He started playing good again. Now, a coach like Marvin Lewis may have not done that. He would have known, your offense, you're this. They try to force them into something and not be what they are. And someone like Zach Taylor is like, okay, well, let's give that a try. They let Chase move around. They're fucking blowing it up.
I think Zach Taylor was given this job because he worked for Sean McVay. And Sean McVay is a phenomenon. He's just this fucking young guy who knows everything about the fucking game. I didn't want Zach Taylor. I wanted Eric Bieniemy. I thought he would have been a better choice.
At the time, I did too.
But
I think I might be wrong. I don't think Zach Taylor is as bad as people are making him out to be. I
don't think he's bad.
All of his players love him.
Yeah.
They all believe in him. They're all playing like they believe in him. His team never gives up. I
agree.
As of right now, he walked into a situation where he didn't have shit for talent. He had Marvin Lewis's team still. The players didn't like the new regime. You got to give a coach a couple years. Some of these teams that are firing coaches after 1 year are putting themselves in such a fucking hole.
Well, but the Bengals don't have that track record. The Bengals keep you around much past your prime, and I think that's what he looked into it. He goes, I'm walking into a losing team. Look at fucking Urban Meyer. He got fucking smoked halfway through or 3 quarters through the season. He
kind of had that coming.
Yeah, he did. But the whole point, the stripper thing and all that.
He had some other shit going on. It wasn't like he was just doing a bang up job.
Well, what I'm saying is a lot of teams will say, okay, here's your shot, turn us around, do something positive. Hey, you didn't, you're fired.
Yeah, look at the Giants. This will be like their 4th coach in 5 years.
But look at the Lions. Lions are like the Bengals. That guy, he's won 3 fucking games. Okay, but his team's always fighting, they're always in it, and they're not going to fire him. They're like, we like something about this guy.
That guy's awesome.
He's awesome.
Yeah, you got to give him. You have to give a coach time. Now there are exceptions. The Urban Meyer thing was pretty obvious from the start that was not going to work out, but that coach should have known that, or that owner should have known that. He only hired Urban Meyer to get people in the stands.
Right.
Same reason why they let Tebow. Shad Khan don't know shit about football.
But I think Trevor Lawrence was going to put people in the stands. I don't think they needed both. I think they should have got an actual coach that they think could have built a good offense and a good defense and went from there. I think Urban Meyer was a novelty and a name. I think that's why.
That's exactly what it was. It was completely a novelty and a name. And he does have a good track record as far as having winning teams.
Right.
But he also has a horrible track record of leaving in horrible situations.
He does.
He leaves everything in shambles.
He does.
So I never understood that hire, but who gives a shit? The Bengals are winning. That's the bottom fucking line.
That's the bottom line.
You can put our name on both of those. I'm not trying to be cocky, but they're better this year. They're going to beat Oakland, and then we're going to play Tennessee next week, and then anything can happen.
Anything can happen, but I will tell you, about 3 weeks ago, I did put money on the Bengals to win it all.
Mm-hmm. I got some money on the Bengals to win it all.
And
what odds did you get?
+8 or 1,200 or something like that.
It's only 12-1.
Yeah,
it's probably more than that.
It was 1,200. Yeah, it was 1,200 to win the AFC.
Yeah,
to go.
The Super Bowl had to be more because I got 22-1. I think right now it's going off at 19-1.
Yeah, I probably got somewhere around there. Actually, I have 2 bets on it because Mr. Gary Kazol on draft day gave me a.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Mine is officially done. Actually,
here's the Browns. Yeah.
Yeah.
He gave me the. Bengals.
I've had this Browns ticket now for a long time. I can officially. I don't have to be a Browns fan, Mr. Kazol. Your team sucks. Thanks for the bet, but your team sucks.
Even though Nick Chubb was number 2 in rushing, I think.
He ended up being number 2.
Yeah,
I believe. Only because Mixon didn't play that last game, though. If you want to look at it that way,
right?
And was it overall? Yeah, it was overall. There wasn't rushing's not as big as it used to be.
No,
a lot of teams use 2.
Jonathan Taylor was fun to watch.
Yeah, but a lot of teams use 2 running backs too, so that's hard to. Someone like Dallas, they use Tony Pollard and Elliott, so neither one of them are going to get a shit ton of yards. I think Elliott finished with like 900. Back in the day, that wasn't shit. You get that, especially for Elliott's money, you would expect at least like 1,300-1,400 out of him.
Tom Brady, 5,400 passing yards this year.
Yeah. We got to look at it a little bit different there, right?
He's my age.
Yeah. He's your age. You wish he was your age. He's legitimately my age, I believe.
He's 43.
He's older than me. He's like 2 years older than me. I couldn't imagine. Dude, I work 6 hours at the casino bent over a craps table. I come home like, and I'm 41. I couldn't imagine being 43 years old and getting hit by fucking Myles Garrett.
And not needing the money.
Not at all.
Not even close to it.
No, he's just a psychopath.
But he's still fucking competitive.
He's a psychopath. He's Michael Jordan. If Michael Jordan could have lasted in his prime, still lasted another 10 years and blew everybody out of the water, he would have. Now, basketball is a little bit more demanding, I guess, than the quarterback position.
You're playing 130 fucking games.
Whatever it is, like you can't. We've yet to see someone be dominating in the 40s in basketball.
Right.
Where in football, we are now seeing that. He's now granted he has a great team around him. He's surrounded himself with great players and everything else. At this point, he didn't really have that in New England. He won with mediocre people. He'd always had a good defense, though.
I mean, he's a freak. He's a freak. Like I said, though, you're playing 17 games as compared to 130. I get it, but also, there's better athletic quarterbacks than him right now.
Yeah, T.J. Watt isn't hitting you in basketball. Right. You know what I mean? It might be less games, but it's a lot more dangerous.
Just see last week that during the practice on like Saturday or something, Andy Reid let Harrison Butker try a NFL record field goal. He says if you make this one attempt, I'll give everybody Monday off. 64.5 yards or whatever, and he nailed it.
Oh, a lot of those guys can do that in practice.
Yeah.
I think there's video of Pat McAfee hitting like a 70-yard field goal.
There was a high school kid in Nevada that kicked a 73-yarder.
But
high winds, granted. Wind was fucking blowing.
Well, not only that, but when Pat McAfee's kind of explained this on his show, when you're kicking without a line in front of you, you can hit it at a lower angle so it can go a little bit further. Now, if a line was actually in front of you, you couldn't do that because they'd jump up and block it.
Right.
So, there's... doing those practice kicks are going to be a little bit easier, obviously, than having the live action ones. But still, it's fucking impressive.
It's real impressive.
Yeah. There was something like a 90-yard punt or something like that. I think the wind played into it, but still.
And then it rolled the right way.
No, I think it was like in the air. It was some ridiculous shit. It happened in like a college game. And I think it was like just an extreme gust of wind, but still, that's fucking insane.
Really?
Yes.
Well, we've given you our predictions, and we're sticking with those. 31-21 Bengals. And I think if they win, which they will, that we're going to be crazy at work tonight.
Oh, tonight's going to be rough. I actually signed the EO list last night with the plan to stick around tonight because I think it's going to be decent money.
Yeah,
and I don't got to wake up for a Bengals game tomorrow.
You wouldn't have got out tonight anyway.
That's not true. Anyways, we got a Would You Rather. I think it's about
Is it time already?
We're about an hour in.
Yeah, I got a Would You Rather, and I'm going to dedicate it to Kane.
Would you rather? Would you rather? Would you rather? Would you rather?
Would you rather? And I had a couple of these in mind, but now one kind of goes along with Kane's thing, so I'm going to dedicate this to 5-year-old Kane, 6.
I hope he's 7 in 2 weeks.
Ooh, let's get up there. All right, here's the deal. Would you rather drink my piss? Okay? A full glass of my piss.
Not sounding fun so far.
Or eat a whole one of your own turds.
Ooh, that's rough.
That's a good one.
That is rough.
That's a good one.
And it's almost his Would You Rather, but he changed
but I
it a little bit.
added a little sickness to it. Yeah.
You made it adult-like.
I mean, a whole load of shit out of your ass.
Yeah.
Or a whole fucking bladder full of pee out of my dick.
Oof. God damn, that's one of the hardest ones ever.
It is.
It really is.
It is.
That is tough.
Because shit is shit.
Shit is shit.
Yeah.
Shit is shit.
But it's yours.
But it is mine.
And you have to,
I got some bad shits.
Yeah, you got to eat your whole load of shit.
It's not even gonna be like a
drink
turd.
My whole load of piss.
Let's just say I'm a spoon guy, not a fork guy when it comes to shits. Oh shit. Oh yeah, y'all gonna have to break out that fucking old soup spoon that everybody avoids. The one that's a little bit wider, and you're like, what the fuck does this even exist for?
Or one of those Asian noodle spoons, those glass white ones that hold like a big deep well in them.
Yeah. Hey, did you have an asshole of the week? We totally skipped over that. I don't think I really had anything. But...
No, I didn't have one. I had a kind of asshole of the week, but...
All right, well, you might be able to say fuck you to him instead.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry, I went in the middle of that. Really avoiding it, because I can't think. I can't think what I'd rather do. I think I'd rather drink a pee. I think I'd rather be pee. See, it bothers me that it's yours.
My pee.
It really bothers me it's yours. It would bother me if any males, honestly. I don't know why female seems better, but it is.
That's why I didn't give you a female.
I don't know why. It just seems fucking awkward that that's the case, or not awkward, but just weird. Yeah, I'm drinking your pee, man. I'm not eating a turd.
It's your own turd, though.
It's still a turd. What are you doing?
I'm drinking your piss.
Yeah.
I think I could...
And fuck you, Vern. I know you're already thinking back in the back of your head.
I
told you. Pee drinkers. Shika-digga-ding-dong.
Fuck you, Vern.
Fuck
you know
Vern.
what? I don't give... fuck Vern. I think we know him, but who knows?
Yeah.
I'm going to say this out loud, too. We're both drinking pee, by the way. We have room for a couple more death pool entries.
Not room. We want you.
Yeah,
we want you. We have 9 now, right now, and
I'd like to have 15.
I need at least 10, so I need one fucking more. But
James Howell, we're talking to you.
He don't listen to the podcast, but either way, someone out there that actually listens, that would be much better than these fucking just people we happen to know that like dead people. Come on, man, never trust a fart. pod@gmail.com. Never trust a fart. pod@gmail.com.
Jason won himself a nice bottle of Maker's Mark.
Yes, and you too, and you can have whatever you want.
It doesn't have to be bourbon. We'll buy you a bottle of whatever you want. You just gotta win.
I'll get you drugs. I don't give a shit. All right, whatever you want. I ain't taking drugs. I'm getting drugs. I'm the middleman.
I think that puts you in jail longer for getting drugs than taking.
Man, it's 2022.
I still think it does.
It's not a big deal anymore. So you want some heroin? You want some cocaine? You want a little bit of meth?
Think anyone's ever been sentenced to 25 years for taking drugs?
No.
But how about selling drugs? Oh, yeah.
I'm not selling. Middleman.
I still think that counts.
No, it doesn't. Hey, call
you
Ted.
Piss drinker.
Call Ted over there. He'll get you an 8-ball. Something like that.
Oh, you're just introducing people who want to meet.
Introducing people. Just, I'm a middleman.
Okay.
I don't want to have any of that shit in my hands.
I want to, I'm looking for a guest who knows step by step how to grow marijuana. If that's you, send us an email. We can black out your face if you want. Or not black out, blur out. There it goes again.
You could come on the show and wear blackface.
But I want somebody who knows step by step how to grow marijuana. I think that's something that our listeners are interested in. We know a lot of cheap people.
Yeah, well, see, I don't know if it's cheap. I mean, you got to invest a lot of money in order to grow weed, I think. You got to buy the lights. You got to buy all the stuff. You got to do certain things with the room to make sure some bugs don't get in and shit. There's a lot more to it than you think. I mean, it's not as much as just... I mean, okay, anybody can put a fucking seed in a thing and grow it a little bit, but you're not going to get anything worth a shit. To actually get weed that's worth it, it's a lot of effort.
See, I could grow kush, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Is that still a word, kush?
Well, kush is a type of weed, yes.
Because apparently everything I say is outdated.
Well, kush is an actual, like, type of weed, though. It's not like a slang term.
Oh, it is?
Yes, kush is a indica. It's a certain kind of
I don't like indica. If I did pot.
Well, then you wouldn't be a kush guy, man.
No, I definitely wouldn't.
Yeah, if you see kush in any part of a weed strand name,
that
means it's going to be an indica. Now, it could be a hybrid, but it's going to have that indica in it. Kush is a particular kind.
Yeah, I don't do indica.
And also for people that also want some weed tips out there, let's say it makes you a little paranoid or something like that. Some people don't like smoking weed because it makes their heart race, gives them panic attacks or whatever. Stay away from any kind of lemon flavored. Lemon flavored weed is always going to be an upper usually.
I like upper.
Well, then lemon flavored.
I would prefer to be
yeah.
awake.
You don't get panic attacks. You just fall dead.
Yeah, that's what I've heard I did.
Yeah.
See how I did that? I've heard.
Or you look like right now in this picture. Hey, man. Anybody got any snacks?
Hey, dude.
All right. We're about an hour in. It's going to be a quick one. But we got a Bengals game to watch.
We do have a Bengals game to watch. We have to work, so...
I'm not happy about that.
No, I'm not either. If there was a penis poking through that hole and I say you can have the day off with no points.
I'm getting sick. If they make it and they play next Saturday,
You're having symptoms?
I see a flu coming. No, I'll take my point like a man. I won't have COVID symptoms. I don't want to go get a fucking test. Those are a pain in the ass to get, by the way.
They would play again Saturday if they won, wouldn't they?
I don't know if they play Saturday or Sunday, but either way, if they do play Saturday, there's no way I would miss that game. Like, I don't mind missing this game. I can't miss that game. And I'm not going to miss it.
Will it be Tennessee or KC? It'll be Tennessee, won't it?
No, it'll be Tennessee if Buffalo beats New England. If New England wins, then I believe it's going to be New England. Or I forget what it is. Either way, I think it depends on what happens in that game.
We were the 3 seed or the 4 seed?
We were the 4 seed. So I believe...
Oh, yeah, because we lost last week.
Yeah, because that's what it is. It won't be New England. It'll be winner of the other game, I guess. I don't fucking know, man. I'm not very good at this shit. It depends on what goes on. We're going to play Tennessee is going to play the worst team.
Right.
So whatever seed that is. And then, I think it'll probably be us if all the favorites win.
If the favorites win.
Yeah.
Now, today's game, the next game is tough. I mean, a lot of people now are jumping on New England and saying New England's going to beat Buffalo. I think Buffalo's going to win.
I think Buffalo wins a close game. I actually bet on New England plus 4.5. But I think
that's a lot of points.
But I think Buffalo wins. Yeah, that's that. I don't like the points there. I'll take the close spread. I think that game's a toss-up, and any kind of toss-up game, I'll usually just take the points. It's the way I look at it.
Right.
And it could go either way. You never know.
Well,
Mac Jones is a little overrated. I think he came out, they had real good. Everybody thought he was going to be the next future of the league kind of thing. And I don't think he's a bad quarterback, but I think he's a little overrated. Buffalo is a little underrated. Buffalo has the number 1 defense in the league and doesn't have one fucking Pro Bowler.
But Mac Jones made the playoffs with nobody on his team.
That's New England, though. That's Bill Belichick, and no one.
But never had nobody.
His defense is damn good.
I'm talking about Mac Jones's offense.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a fucking all-pro anything.
No.
He doesn't have a fucking...
But they have a good running game. I mean, they don't have any big names, but they
don't have any big-name receivers either.
No.
Or linemen.
They got some decent tight ends. Their line's not... But you don't need names. I don't know. I think...
I think he's done a lot with that. I know it's Belichick, but Belichick's not strapping the pads on and heading out
there. But I think it is a system team. I just think
is.
They're so fucking smart, and they game plan so well and stuff like that you can make up for the lack of talent. And that's why they're a playoff team, and they're a decent team, but I still don't think they're
No,
next
they're
level.
not one of the. They're not one of the better teams in
No.
the league. But see, that's what's nice about this year is every team in the playoffs has had big highs and way down lows. I mean, KC struggled a lot in the middle of this fucking season. Titans lost to a bunch of teams they had no business losing to.
Kansas City's another one. Tyreek Hill hasn't looked the same since he came back from COVID.
No.
He's been slow. It's up in the air. No one has it this year. It's hard to bet. I mean, still think
didn't KC lose like 4 games, 4 out of 5 or something in the middle of the season?
they went through a little slump, especially offensively, and then
Yeah, and
but they
they
seem to
had
get it back
everybody.
for the most part. The Packers seem to be the favorite, but you never fucking know.
I mean, the team that lost to the Lions last week, I know it wasn't the Packers because nobody played, but
Well, some people play, but yeah, the
they
team,
lost to the fucking Lions.
Aaron Rodgers is the Packers.
Yeah.
So-
Aaron Jones is the Packers. Fucking Devontae Adams is the fucking Packers. It's not like Mac Jones. You take out Aaron Rodgers out of that equation, you still have a lot of fucking talent.
Dylan's a bad motherfucker. Their second running back is maybe as good as their first running back. They have a different style, but they're both productive.
Well, Tony Pollard proved that, didn't he? He fucking outshined Zeke all year.
Well, and I think is Aaron Jones. Did he get a contract or did he get the franchise tag last year?
I don't know. I think you'd have to ask Hat Mutson. I'm not sure about
Yeah,
that.
because the way they played Dylan this year, you almost think they're willing to let go Aaron Jones to save money and try to get other people because they got a good running back.
But see, the beauty of the Packers is, I mean, you got Aaron Rodgers, who's just fucking disgustingly talented, but there's not a better receiver in the game than Devontae Adams. I mean, I don't think anybody will argue that.
I don't know. I might argue it, but it's going to be close. If so, I always look at someone like Devontae Adams. I think he is a super talent, but I also think he is the best thrower in the league as his quarterback. So it's hard to judge. Maybe there is a guy that just doesn't have the quarterback that really exploit it.
Well, I mean, going into this year, they said obviously the best was going to be fucking DeAndre Hopkins was the number 1 receiver.
Because he has been for a long time, and
He wasn't
was
this
hurt.
year.
Well, last year Adams was the number 1 receiver yardage wise.
But they thought D-Hop when he gets
D-Hop
out
got
there.
hurt, and I'm not a big believer in the quarterback over there in Arizona.
Oh, Kyler Murray?
Yeah, Murray he's exciting
tiny.
and everything else, but I don't think he's like as accurate to make a receiver like Hopkins has to go out of his way a lot of times to make these catches.
He
and
does.
make spectacular catches. Who knows if he had an Aaron Rodgers putting it right on point every single time if he couldn't be at more yards. I mean, look at someone like Randy Moss, who was always good, but then you've seen him with Brady in his prime, and you're like, okay, well, yeah, there's a different level now that you got the best receiver and the best quarterback together.
Right.
So, who knows? Let's get to a little bit of
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
fuck you. You got anything going on?
I've got a double fuck you,
Double fuck you. Love it.
but it's not done out of hate. It's not done, you know what I mean? It's a different kind of fuck you. Normally, I fucking hate you when I do this. That's not the case here. You know, a lot of love here, but I'm going to do it anyway. Fuck you, Ronnie Carter, and fuck you, Peggy.
Oh, just fuck Raiders fans.
Fuck Raiders fans.
I
Now,
believe Christina Anderson is also a Raiders fan.
fuck you, Christina Anderson. Fuck anyone. I mean, those are the 3 that I know, but I don't dislike those people. Ronnie Carter, love you, but you're a Raiders fan. Fuck you. Today, fuck you.
I agree. Fuck you, Raiders fans. I'm completely in agreement there. And fuck the Raiders. I don't like that they're in Vegas. I know it's a cool stadium, whatnot. No one gives and the actual Vegas people, I don't think really give a fuck. I feel like they don't have fans. Every game's an away game for them. You just got all the other people like, hey, we're in Vegas this week. And they plan their vacations and everything else around
Well,
it.
but look at the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights are fucking sold out every fucking game.
Well,
Town grabbed them.
Did they?
Yeah, fuck yeah, they did.
I don't know shit about hockey.
First fucking year, they ended up going to the fucking playoffs. You know what I mean? They were an anomaly, these guys.
Yeah, so maybe if Vegas becomes big, then their crowd. But they make the
Vegas
playoffs.
needed a team. They had to have a team. It's just they need a baseball team. It's Vegas.
I wonder who Davis is going to go after as their next coach, because he's not going to keep the guy that's there right now, even though he seems to be doing a pretty damn good job. He kept them together, got them in the playoffs.
Eric Bieniemy.
But I don't think it is. Bieniemy has a better chance of going to a lesser known team. I think Davis needs that star power. You know, that's the reason why he went out and got fucking Gruden. You know, it wasn't because Gruden was the best coaching option. It was because Gruden brought a fucking name. Same reason douchebag down in Florida got Urban Meyer. I think Davis is going to pull some shit like that.
He's going to go after like a Harbaugh or something like that.
Harbaugh is actually one of the names that popped in my head. But yeah, something like that. Maybe you're fucking trying to get Cowher out of retirement.
Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin ain't leaving Pittsburgh.
Fucking Big Ben's going. The team's fucking in shambles right now. You don't think if he got enough money offered to him, he'd fucking jump ship? Sure he would.
You could be right about that. I don't know how contracts work.
He's a fucking good coach. He's a great coach.
You don't see many coaches leave contracts. I don't think they can. So unless his contract's up, I don't think it's a thing.
Oh, okay.
You can do it through advance. Like, let's say you're an offensive coordinator and you want to become a head coach. I think you're allowed doing it then. But I don't think you can just quit being the Vegas head coach to be the Pittsburgh head coach kind of thing. Like, I don't think that's a thing unless you're in the contract.
Well, I don't know
because
how long
in the past they've had to do
is.
trades. Remember, they did a trade for Gruden. That's how he went to Tampa Bay or how he went to Oakland. I forget. One or the other. That's what happened.
But all I'm saying is that right now Pittsburgh is in the shitter. They've got nothing to look forward to at this point. They have to grab a quarterback.
But that's the thing. There's some big name quarterbacks now. If you take an Aaron Rodgers, if you take a Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson somehow is allowed to play. You put him directly on Pittsburgh's team. They're not a bad team. They're just missing the quarterback. They got an all right defense, and they got a couple weapons on offense. You still got Juju there. You got Claypool there. You know, they got Harris Harris had the most touches in NFL this year.
DeAndre.
And didn't have one fucking.
DeAndre Harris, right?
No, not DeAndre.
Or no, DeAndre Johnson.
Yeah, but I'm not talking
Receiver.
about that. I'm talking about the running back,
Najee Harris.
Yeah. He had the most touches in the league this year without a fumble. So he had more touches than anybody else in the league, and he didn't fumble on top of that. I mean, that dude's a bad motherfucker. So if you put Aaron Rodgers on that team, they're all of a sudden the favorites to win the North. And you know, and I don't think Aaron Rodgers is sticking around Green Bay after
I don't
this year.
think he's going to Pittsburgh.
I don't know where he's going to go. I doubt he goes to Pittsburgh, too. I think he wants to go to a warmer weather team.
I think he would go to Seattle if Russell Wilson left. I think Aaron Rodgers would slide to Seattle.
I don't know. I don't know if he'd want to go to Seattle. I don't know what he would do, honestly. I know Denver is supposed to make a big play for him this year. I heard Peyton Manning might buy the Broncos. He's up for it.
Really?
Yeah. So that would be interesting.
Would he keep Elway as the GM?
I think they're going against each other.
Oh, really?
Elway's trying to buy it, and Peyton's trying to buy it. I mean, they're both in different groups, but there's
Peyton's got more money.
There's like 18. Well, they're in groups though,
yeah.
So who knows who their partners and all that shit is? But there's like 8 different people putting in for it, and Peyton being one of them. And I hope Peyton wins because I love Peyton Manning.
I do too.
I'd be a little bit of a Broncos fan if he owned him just for shits and giggles.
I agree.
You said double fuck you.
It was Peggy and Ronnie.
Because there's
triple fuck you because Christine Anderson.
Yeah, well,
she wears that Howie Long jersey.
You think Peggy's listening?
No. But if anybody is listening that knows Peggy, tell her I said fuck you. But only because she's a Raider fan.
Yeah. My fuck you this week, I went to a Chinese restaurant the other day and I seen a white guy using chopsticks. Fuck you. All right. The fork's better. We've established that. I'll if you're Asian, I'll let you use chopsticks. That's fine. But fuck you if you're going to use chopsticks to eat. The fork is a much improved instrument, all right? And not only that, but you know how to use a fork. You have to go out of your way to go fucking learn how to use chopsticks now. And why? Yeah. Just so you can assimilate to their culture while you eat their fucking shitty food at the Wang Chang shop down the street? No.
So it's a big fuck you
fuck
to
you. Fuck you to
people?
any fuck you to all
any
races.
Non-Asians that use chopsticks.
Any people that didn't grow up using chopsticks.
But have you ever noticed, and this is really fucked up, you ever watched an Asian person eat? First of all, they don't drop a fucking crumb with these chopsticks.
No, they're good at them.
But they will literally take like a bite of noodles like this big and just fucking shovel it in. They put their mouth up to the fucking bowl and just shovel shit in.
I don't think that's all Asians. I think it's just the Asians that were around because they got to get to the next hand and they can't do that while they eat too. And you know,
I don't know. I've seen a lot of Asians eat. They always wolf the shit down. I mean, it doesn't take much to chew a fucking mouthful of ramen. It just goes down pretty easy. You're not biting into a fucking chunk of beef.
It's just always fucking bothered me when I see other people using chopsticks. And actually, my wife is one of them. It drives me fucking nuts.
She uses them?
Oh, she uses them. It pisses me off. She knows how much it pisses me off.
I can't pick anything up with them.
Well, I'm not good at them. Yeah, for sure. I'm not good at them. But it's just why? The fork is better. I'll argue I'd rather eat fucking rice with a spoon. That's fine, too. It doesn't drop through any holes. You can't drop it, Right. But fucking chopsticks? Come on.
I agree.
Come on.
Fuck you, non-Asian chopstick users.
Yeah, fuck you, Asians, too. You should adapt, but I'll give you a half a break.
There's a lot more of them than there are of us.
Yeah, that's fine. But
It's like a billion Chinese people.
We updated. All right, everybody, let's get on the same page.
That's like this one guy.
They're not ever there using Windows 95. All right, they can use a fork too.
I had a dumbass friend in Arizona. We were at a fucking at a mall, and this fucking Mexican couple went by. In Arizona, there's a billion Mexicans, and this little baby in the stroller, probably a year old, year and a half, started talking to his mom in Spanish. My friend was shocked. He goes, "That fucking little kid speaks Spanish." I'm like, "He's Mexican, dude. His parents speak Spanish." He goes, "That little kid speaking Spanish."
That's the only language he knows.
That's it. That's all he knows. And I was looking at him going, fuck, really?
You just like looking around like, what choices did I make in my life from hanging out with this fucking idiot?
That's what I'm thinking. He was bewildered. Fuck, that's a little tiny kid speaking Spanish.
He just comes up and he's like,
Duh, duh.
oh, shit.
Pretty amazing.
All right, guys, that is episode 109. Lots of sports talk, some political talk. This is probably a bore for a lot of you. But
Well, it was, but Whoopi wasn't.
fuck
Whoopi let
yourself.
us down again.
Yeah, Whoopi's a disappointment. We're looking for a new news lady, someone that actually shows up.
Yeah, I got a real quick joke.
All right. Oh, yeah, fucking shit dicks, man.
It's a real fast one. This is a quick riddle.
Well, we still need a fucking song, regardless, right?
Joke of the week.
Quick, tiny, fast joke of the week. How do you make your dog quit humping your leg?
How?
Pick him up and suck his dick.
That's episode
That's it.
109, guys.
Later.
Thank you.
You can kindly fuck off now. Please subscribe and share. Well, you can kindly fuck off now. Subscribe and share.